Good. Stop, rewind, scratch that already. Good afternoon, everybody. This is BoomersDaddy with Spreadsheet Sports coming to you live with sound today. Sorry, my computer decided to default back to sound yesterday, and it was not on the microphone, which didn't work out too well. I'm excited for today. I got some much needed rest last night after pulling a couple all-nighters there and making it to where I was running on fumes. So I'm excited. It's a Friday. It's going to be a fantastic night in MLB. I'm probably more excited about tonight than I've been about a slate in a long time, just because there's a lot of different ways that we can go. There's already some value opening up as far as lineups are concerned. We have sound today, which is fantastic. I'm not going to have any computer glitches. There for about 2 weeks, everything I touched decided it was going to turn into a pile of ashes and a ball of flames. So it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun. I got some stuff I want to hit on after we get down and done with the MLB analysis. Got some great ways that we can go in GPPs tonight, and everything is going to be fantastic. Looking for a huge night, and going to have a lot of fun. A couple notes that I hit on yesterday that I'm going to hit on again today because nobody had sound is over at FanDuel and DraftKings. Obviously, we know for NFL, they are coming up. We are going to have the $10 million and $5 million Week 1 NFL tournaments. Those are the big boys. We've got some $1 million tournaments at lower buy-ins. Make sure you take shots at those two, because there aren't going to be as many entries, so the scoring is not going to be as sporadic. But they're running qualifiers now at lower buy-in levels. You can qualify for as low as 25 cents over there at DraftKings and $2 over at FanDuel. So start building up those tickets. It's a great way to get a return on investment as far as your NFL season has started. I know I've got a healthy bit already kind of gathering up, and we've still got, I think, 3 weeks to build those up. So make sure you start hitting those pretty much and get those done for the NFL season. One other thing I want to hit on before we get into the daily analysis, then everything else I'll hit on afterwards. It is going to be a crazy couple of days. The beginning part of next week, I'm going to have some. I'm going to start jumbling up some of these articles for NFL, and hope you guys are enjoying that NFL DFS 101. The only reason I'm starting off slow, I'm starting off at a basic beginner level, because I know we've had some people that came in after NFL in the middle of the NBA season and into MLB. So this might be their first season playing NFL, and there's some things that you actually have to know going into it before you start just diving in. It is very similar to season long, but it is also very different as well, because you have the whole player pool there, and you can pretty much draft anybody that you want, as we know. So I'm going to start off slow, but starting the beginning of next week, I've got another article that'll be coming out tomorrow, but starting the beginning of next week, we're going to have we're going to start getting really, really deep into the analysis. Not so much of who's a good play this year and who's not, because we know that changes week by week, game by game. But what you want to look for at each position and how you want to construct rosters, and what you want to look for as far as GPP versus cash games, and also going to throw in there if you are shooting for qualifiers and stuff like that. Qualifiers are a little bit different because you really have to have that first or last mentality. I call it the Ricky Bobby syndrome, because that's why you enter the qualifier, is to get into these live finals, to win that ticket. I kind of I don't want to say heartbroken, but I'm a little, what's the word? Uh, Jealous, a lot jealous actually, because I've been following the FanDuel baseball live final on Twitter, and I come close a lot of times, and I've had lineups to where it would have won it if I just would have entered it at that buy-in level. So I've definitely had my shot. Plan on getting there for NFL and college football. But baseball will have to wait till next year. It's a shame because I really would have liked to meet Bo Jackson and take down that home run derby and represent Spreadsheet Sports out there and start spreading everything. Trying to build the community, guys. So if you can do me a favor and like the YouTube page, share the video on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, share the articles. Tell your friends, tell your family, anybody that's interested in fantasy, especially for the NFL. These sites put a lot of money into advertising and customer acquisition for NFL DFS. So we are going to get an influx of new players coming into the industry, and I hate to say it, but this is where we can take advantage of some of that. We can help them as well. Some of the best lessons learned are the hard lessons, but remember, this is for money, and we can definitely take advantage of the new players that are coming in before they start finding all the touts out there and the sites, and hopefully a couple of them come across our information and we're able to help them out and build their bankrolls as well. But until they do, then let's make sure we take advantage of it and capitalize off of chaos. And obviously, as always, you guys know my phrase, turn chaos into cash. So with that, let's get into the MLB. Got a great slate tonight. In my opinion, it's one of the best in recent weeks, and the reason for that is because we have a plethora of pitchers going tonight, and I've got some sleepers for you guys as well to kind of help you take down some of these bigger GPPs. The crazy thing is I really honestly don't know where a lot of people are going to be going. It's going to be kind of a scattered ownership percentage as far as all the pitchers. From what I can tell, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 top flight pitchers that are going tonight, and then 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4 middle tier, and then 3 punts, 2 punts. As far as pitching is concerned, 2 value options that are in good spots and could end up helping us out a ton. So with that, let's get to it. Obviously, I'm not gonna break down a lot of the games as far as game by game, but what I am gonna do is break down positions, because some positions are absolutely loaded tonight, and other positions are not so much. So I think positions are going to be a little bit better as far as breaking down them tonight. My sheet has Chris Sale tonight as our top pitching option, and man, I don't mind that being in Seattle. The problem with that is that the Mariners' offense has been very, very good over the last 45 days. They've been one of the top offenses in baseball. You've got Nelly Boomstick Cruz that's waiting to take Sale over the right field wall. We've seen Sale blow up a couple times this year, and I've called it a couple times. I'm not ready to kind of call it this time, just because that Mariners lineup is it's kind of iffy, in my opinion, against a good left-handed pitcher like Sale. But as far as a sleeper pick tonight, I do like Nelson Cruz. He is expensive, 4.7K, but that's a way you can kind of pivot in tournaments, because a lot of people are going to be on Sale tonight just because of the name value. And if Sale does have a good game, you're going to see a lot of tournament shift just off of that game alone. The reason is because his counterpart is Felix Hernandez, who is, according to my sheet, the number 4 ranked pitcher tonight. You've got him going against a Chicago White Sox offense that has been very, very bad at the beginning of the year. They're starting to come around. The crazy thing is that you've got to pay attention to a lot of the stats that are being thrown out there. Okay, versus right-handed pitching this year, Chicago is very, very good. Obviously, Jose Abreu is one of the top pitchers as far as, or top hitters as far as against righties is concerned in Major League Baseball. And I don't mind him here. The problem is he's only faced King Felix once, and he's 0 for 3. The guy that has the best history against, as far as power-wise, against King Felix has been Gordon Beckham, who we know isn't playing right now, and he's got 2 home runs out of 5 hits. So I think a nice GPP pivot tonight will be King Felix. Of course, we've seen him blow up. He was horrible his last start against Boston. I think it was 10 runs and 2 and a third innings. He allowed 12 hits, walked 1, allowed 3 home runs, only struck out 2. He had negative 5.67 fantasy points on FanDuel. I was so glad that I was on somebody else that night. Actually, it was an afternoon game, which was kind of crazy. So, but before that, out of his last, including that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going back to his last 10 starts, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fantasy point, or 5 games of over 14 fantasy points on FanDuel. I know that's not what you're looking for at 11K, but where you could get that is it's going to differentiate yourself in the lineups as far as people, because there's going to be a lot of people on Chris Sale, and for some reason Felix always goes under-owned in tournaments, in my opinion, for the type of the quality of pitcher that he could be. Now, he hasn't been consistent this year at all, so I don't trust him in cash games and 50-50s and double-ups, but I do like him in GPPs tonight. The number 2 pitcher on the board tonight is the most expensive pitcher on the slate. You're looking at Madison Bumgarner going against the Pittsburgh Pirates. In my opinion, he is a straight 100% fade, and it has nothing to do with sorry, I'm kicking stuff. I want to make sure I don't unplug. It has nothing to do with the fact that I don't believe in Madison Bumgarner. It has everything to do with the fact that the Pirates are good against left-handed pitching. They have the capabilities. Josh Harrison is back, so they've got the catalyst back at the top of that lineup. This lineup is starting to form around for playoff a big playoff push, and it's going to be very good. The top of that lineup is Harrison, Marte, McCutchen, Ramirez. Then you follow it up with Kang, Cervelli. Michael Morris at first base is not a bad punt option tonight. And then Sean Rodriguez rounds out the top 8. And, of course, you got Jeff Locke on the mound. A little BVP history for Madison Bumgarner. Josh Harrison is 4 for 5 with a home run against Mad Bum. So I know it's a small sample size. It's only 1 game, it looks like, maybe 2. But he has had success no matter how small. And at 2.8K, that's a great way to pivot and get some exposure to things in GPPs. I don't want to do it in a cash game just because you don't want to pick on these top flight pitchers for cash, but you can do a lot of these in GPPs, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking to make sure that when other people are on somebody that you can kind of, as your offensive players start to move up, their pitchers are moving down. So, I always say my pitchers, they always allow 2 runs, but it's one of those things that, I don't mind a pirate stack in tournaments tonight. So mix it up, get creative if you're going to. I love those top 6. I love they're my favorite as far as a stack. If I'm going on DraftKings tonight, I'm gonna have some exposure to the Pirates more than likely. So as far as the Giants are concerned, versus left-handed pitching this year, they are kind of middle of the pack. They do get Marlon Byrd, who is a lefty crusher. He will be in that lineup tonight. He's batting 5th. He's only 2.4K. I think he's going to be rejuvenated a little bit now going into a playoff race. He does have 2 home runs off of Jeff Locke. He's 5 for 14 against him. So he's got the most success against him. I don't mind Aoki in this spot either. So that's he's had some success off of Locke as well. But it's kind of weird because they're rolling out with, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties in that lineup tonight. And versus left-handed pitching, Brandon Belt tonight is batting .222. He's got a .322 WOBA. That's kind of all right. I want to look for a little bit higher. It doesn't look like we're going to get Kelby Tomlinson tonight, which is fine. I don't mind Buster Posey. His price has come down a little bit at 3.5K. But I started going through the games. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go back to the pitchers. But I'm fading Madison Bumgarner just to throw that out there. Third-ranked pitcher on the board is going to be David Price going against the Angels. Let's see here. I know we've got some history here. Price is extremely, extremely good against has been typically extremely good on the West Coast for some reason. I remember seeing that stat that he's pretty good against West Coast bats. So that would be something to kind of take into consideration here. Pulling up our daily advanced metric sheet. Let's see here. I did have this up and it disappeared on me. I think I closed it. So, okay, now that we got that, let's go back over to the pitchers. Let's see here. David Price. He allows a .278 overall WOBA. If I'm going to pick on him, it's going to be with Trout and Pujols. He allows 12 home runs to right-handed bats. And then versus only, it looks like 2 to lefties. So that'd be something that I definitely want to take advantage of. On the road this year, and I know he's been with 2 different teams, so it's a little bit different. He's got a 1.93 ERA. I like his strikeout potential at 11.7K. I don't mind him off of a pivot as far as Chris Sale maybe in cash games, but that game is, in my opinion, going to be extremely low scoring and could be worth a look in GPPs as well. So number 4 on the board obviously was Felix. Number 5 on the board is Masahiro Tanaka going against the Cleveland Indians and Carlos Carrasco. Excuse me. Let's see here. Tanaka this year has a 1.01 whip, with the 241 BABIP, which is absolutely phenomenal. I love that. He's got over 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, almost 20 or just over 23% of the time he's striking out batters. The problem is that he is susceptible to the long ball. So I don't mind this in tournaments if you want to go that route, but he's one of those pitchers that is a tournament-only option for me. Somebody that, or John Lackey going against the San Diego Padres is going to be interesting tonight. The reason is because the Padres, especially Matt Kemp this year, especially recently, have been absolutely crushing the ball. And it has been one of those things that has been kind of fun to watch. For some reason, he is just one of those players that in the second half of the year just seem to go off. So he's only 2 for 13 against Lackey, but he's been extremely good the second half of the year. So, and you can see it with his price actually jumping up there into the $4,000 range. He might be a little bit too expensive to pay up for in cash games, but I don't mind that at all for GPPs, just because of the fact that you have the upside that a lot of people are going to be on Lackey because he's in a pitcher's ballpark tonight. But I really do like Lackey as far as cash games are concerned. He's probably going to be my cash game pitcher just because of the fact that he's not expensive. He's only $9,000, so it's going to allow me to get some exposure to Coors Field, which I'm going to want exposure to. It's going to allow me to get some exposure to some of these other bats that I like that are in good spots. The Orioles and the Twins are going tonight. That should be a high-scoring game. And the Rangers and the Tigers are going tonight. And it looks like the Red Sox and the Royals are going to be having a high-scoring game as well. But I think that's more on the Royals side, and I'll get to that here in just about 30 seconds. As far as Matt Kemp, though, I'll get to him just a little bit later. But he is absolutely just mashed over the last his last negative game was, let's see, he's on a nice little hitting streak, too. His last negative game was August 6th against Milwaukee, where he went 0 for 3. But he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 game hitting streak where he's got 1, 2, 3, 3 home runs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 RBIs. So he's on a nice little streak over the last couple games or the last week and a half or so. So he is a good option tonight, but I do like John Lackey as far as cash games. Next one is Johnny Cueto. This rounds out our top, or what I feel is our top tier tonight. He's number 7 on the spreadsheet sports board tonight. He's going against a Boston team that has, for some reason, decided to wake up. It's a little too late for them, I believe. I don't know how they are, how far out they are in the standings. Let's pull that up here real quick. I don't know if they've got a shot for that second wild card spot, but let's see here. They are, over the last 30 days, they are one of the top offenses in the majors. They're definitely not in the hunt for the division, and they are, looks like 8 games out of the wild card. So a lot could happen, but they need a lot of help as well. They've got a lot of teams that they have to jump, and they are starting to hit the ball extremely well lately. So that might be a way to go in tournaments as well. Cueto's going to be extremely low owned. Watch out for the weather in this one. That's going to drive his ownership percentage down even more. If you're playing in a single entry tournament, I would not be surprised if he's less than 1% owned, maybe less than 2%. but I would not push it a little bit higher than that. So he might be a good way to go if later on in the afternoon we get the okay as far as that game kicking off right. So couple middle tier guys that I think could be in good spots. You've got Drew Smiley. I know he's been doing very well lately. Let's see here. Total WOBA, smallest to largest. Drew Smiley going against Oakland, who is just not a good team right now. He's got a very, very good chance to go deep into the game. Let's see here. For some reason, I think this is his first start back, so he might be limited. No, it's not. It's his second. He threw 4 innings last time, allowed 7 hits, struck out 4, walked 2, and allowed, it looks like, 5 runs against the Rangers. So if you're throwing out multiple teams in a large field GPP, he might not be in a bad spot. He is a good pitcher. He is getting a positive, or he's definitely pitching against a worse team. It looks like he allowed 4 home runs to right-handed bats. So that might be a way to go there. I also like Chris Bassett on the other side going against the Tampa Bay Rays, who are bad against right-handed pitching. He is only allowed a 274 WOBA and 5 home runs in 62 innings. That's actually extremely well. The Rays strike out at almost a 22% clip against right-handed pitching this year. And so I don't mind him. Gio Gonzalez going against the Brewers in Washington is not a bad little option as well. Carlos Carrasco going against the Yankees, but the left-handed power bats of the Yankees scare me just because Carrasco has allowed 14 home runs this year, and that's only in that's in 144 innings, and it's kind of split, but the Yankees hit for a lot of power against right-handed bats. So that kind of scares me. The other one I like is Jimmy Nelson. The only person that scares me in that lineup right now is Bryce Harper. And as far as your sleepy dark horses of the night that could be in extremely good spots that you might want to take advantage of, and he's not even on our sheet. Why? Wow, John Gray is not on our sheet, and I don't know why. But John Gray going against the New York Mets tonight. It looks like when we did the update, it didn't pick up the Mets Rockies, the Rockies starting pitcher. John Gray, the last time he faced New York was in New York, obviously. A little bit better of a pitcher's ballpark, but this guy is good. He's got some talent. He's got and this is not me being a homer, guys. This is he pitched in the PCL. He's got high strikeout potential, but he's got a limited upside because his pitch count is going to be limited. Look at 5-6 innings. He's got to be efficient. He's thrown 124 innings this year between the majors and the minors, and the Rockies are expecting to shut him down when he reaches about that 150 mark. They don't want to extend it too much. He's a first-round pick from last year, so he is definitely in play. Last time he played the Mets, he allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And it looks like only 1 run in 6 innings. That was good for 10 points on FanDuel. If the Rockies can get to Bartolo Colon and by some miracle their bullpen can actually hold the game tonight, then he could get the win. If you get 10 points out of John Gray at 4.8K on FanDuel and you could load up on some bats, then that could be a very, very, very profitable situation for you in GPPs. The other option as a dark horse was, where did it go? Brett Anderson going against the Astros. The Astros have obviously that high strikeout potential. Brett Anderson has the capability of shutting down and neutralizing that powerful offense because of the fact that they do strike out a lot and they don't have a lot of success against Anderson. So I know it's scary picking on Houston, but I don't mind that at all in that situation. So let's go to catcher. Catcher is actually kind of loaded tonight. We're going to kind of start flowing through these. Obviously, the biggest analysis is the pitchers because they are the ones that are more guaranteed to get us points. Let's do an update here real quick. Catchers tonight, I have a couple that are on my radar as far as cash games. And then a couple that are on my radar as far as GPPs are concerned. Obviously, in cash games, you can go with Wellington Castillo. He's batting fourth in that lineup, going against David Holmberg in Cincinnati. He's a good one to go through. He's actually my top-rated catcher of the night. Then obviously Nick Hundley going against Bartolo Colon, and Victor Martinez going against Colby Lewis is a very, very good play tonight, in my opinion. I think the Tigers with Coors Field back in play tonight are going to go a little bit lower owned than normal, and Victor Martinez is 9 for 17 against Colby Lewis. So I will be throwing out a nice little Tigers stack as well, because they have had success against Colby Lewis, and this is one of the higher totals of the night. Maybe pair them up with a Justin Verlander in GPPs on DraftKings, and you could be well on your way to having a very good night, because I think Verlander could have some success tonight as well, going against that Texas lineup. The only one that's had relatively good success against him has been Mitch Moreland, who's limited at 6 for 15, and then Adrian Beltre, who's 13 for 42 against him. So he's had some pretty good success. I know Verlander's not the same pitcher that he was when he was having that success, but that doesn't mean that he still isn't in their heads a little bit, because baseball, just as much of it is a physical game as it is a mental game. So that could be a definite way to pivot tonight to make sure that you get exposure there. But those are the three that I like. If you, I really do like JT Realmuto going against the rookie Eichhoff tonight for Miami. I think Miami could be a nice little sneaky stack last night. They went off, and it could be a very good situation for them again. I don't mind Andrew Susak's not going to be in that lineup, is he? Let's go back up here. Nope. Obviously, Buster Posey, he's 3.5K, so he could be a good pivot tonight against Jeff Locke as well. So first base, normally it's pretty loaded, and tonight is no different. Paul Goldschmidt is my top player on the board, obviously going against David Holmberg. He didn't do so hot last night. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. Remember, it is a process. I'm going to roll him out again tonight in my cash games. The only thing that I can't decide is whether or not I want to go with him or Eric Hosmer going against Henry Owens tonight, just because I might go with Goldschmidt in cash and Hosmer in GPPs. I don't mind Lucas Duda, but Joey Votto is a more favorite play of mine tonight, and obviously Brandon Belt going against Jeff Locke. You can throw Miggy in there. Edwin Encarnacion could be very interesting, and Justin Bour as well. So first base, as always, is loaded. Just make sure that you are doing it with the with proper roster construction in mind. And what I mean by that is don't just throw some random first baseman in there. Make sure you have some correlation in there when you go through your lineups. So next one is going to be second base, which is kind of a barren wasteland tonight, which is not normal. Obviously, DJ LeMahieu, he's the top second baseman on the board. I like Aaron Hill again tonight. He is batting fifth again. I know he didn't do so hot last night. My Diamondbacks stack didn't pay off, but it was one of those things that you just kind of keep going. Obviously, D. Gordon, he's in play. Brian Dozier can put one out of the ballpark as well. So those are the top four third base or second basemen on the slate tonight. Shortstop tonight is very interesting because of the abilities to kind of differentiate yourself. Carlos Correa is the top shortstop on the board, but he's extremely expensive. Eugenio Suarez batting in the 2-hole for Cincinnati tonight, right behind Jason. I was saying Borges yesterday. It's actually, I was listening to the broadcast last night, is Bourgeois. So I guess it's French. But I really like stacking up against De La Rosa tonight. But Bourgeois and Suarez last night had really, really, really good games. They've been extremely good together recently at the top of that lineup. And Suarez is one of your more consistent fantasy shortstops of the year so far. So obviously he's good. I'm staying off of Ian Desmond. I know he's back home, but his price is still inflated from Coors Field. Troy Tulowitzki and Jose Reyes round out the top four. So those are really good. Josh Rutledge going against Johnny Cueto is pretty interesting just because Rutledge, he can swing the bat a little bit. He's 3 for 3 against Cueto, and it's kind of weird. I know it's one game, but in a GPP at $2,200 at shortstop, if you're going to try to capitalize off of chaos and go against Cueto, then that could be a way to go because I don't think that the Red Sox are going to be highly owned tonight just because of the fact that Cueto is on the other side, but and because of the weather. So that could be a way to kind of pivot. If you want to save some money at shortstop, he would be a very good punt option. As far as third base is concerned, the top play, obviously, our spreadsheet likes the Mets because it's optimal. So they are in play. Nolan Arenado is right behind it. But Matt Carpenter at $3,600 going against Andrew Cashner tonight, I think could be a very, very interesting play. He's going to be batting at the top of that lineup, obviously. Cashner has been kind of iffy. He's been up and down recently, and it's been a wild ride. He hasn't thrown more than 6 innings in his last 4 starts. I'm sorry. He went 6 1/3 against the Phillies 2 starts ago. But he's allowed some runs. He's allowed a lot of runs lately, so he is definitely struggling. So this could be a way to go. Now, the Cardinals don't have a lot of success against Cashner, but I think that could possibly change tonight. The only thing that bothers me about going all in on the Cardinals is the fact that they do not have a very good outfield right now. I mean, they've got Piscotty, who's got some massive power, especially to the opposite field. Who's there, and I think he's a really, really good play, especially at 2.8K. We'll get to the outfielders here in a little bit. But their outfield is absolutely horrible right now. So the run potential might be a little bit limited tonight. I do like Jed Lowry going against Brett Anderson just because Lowry hits lefties extremely well. I like Pablo tonight as a punt option. He's only 2.4K. Josh Donaldson will go extremely underowned just because of his price tag. He's 5,700 on FanDuel. So that could be a definite way to go as well to kind of diversify yourself. But you're going to have to save some money in some spots in order to get him into your lineup. So make sure that you are doing that smartly and not just throwing him in there just to throw him in there. So, all right, last position of the night. We've got outfield top. Ooh, Jared Dyson is a scratch. So if you had Jared Dyson in your lineups, get him out. Top outfield plays, obviously, are going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. AJ Pollock, Yasmani Tomas. We've got Curtis Granderson and Lorenzo Cain both in there. Cargo is 5K, and obviously he's in play. He's in Coors, and he should have a good game again tonight. Adam Jones going against Tommy Malone is in a good spot tonight as well. I'm actually all off of Sinshu Chu. Ben Zobrist going against Henry Owens. Cole Gillespie going against Jared Eichhoff. If you want to throw a Marlins stack in there, I think that could be a very good way to go. And then obviously Andrew McCutchen. I want to see that. I know they faced up before. They had to. Yep, Andrew McCutchen. He's 2 for 10, so maybe he's due. But if you're going with the Pirate stack, obviously you've got to have McCutchen in there just because of his ability to hit the long ball. Let's see here. Bryce Harper, I don't mind against Jimmy Nelson. Matt Kemp, I like Matt Kemp tonight. I've already said it. Jason Bourgeois, he's been a nice little play at 2.4K. He had a monster game last night. He had I think it was like a bases loaded double or something like that. Ended up having, I think it was 14 points last night. Sorry, 6.5. He had a triple with a runner on second. So, but I think he's definitely in play again tonight. It says De La Rosa has allowed a slugging percentage of 500 versus hitters, similar to Bourgeois, but Bourgeois is batting .225 against other right-handers with low to average strikeout rates. So it's kind of some inside stuff going on there. Starling Marte, Michael Brantley, I don't mind. Let's see here. The Twins going against Wei Shen. I like Brian Dozier. Brian Buxton, I don't think has the power, but he could be obviously popular. I'm going to fade Miguel Sano because I think he's going to be one of the more popular plays at third base, only being 4K and still having the ability to hit the ball out of the yard. If I'm going to go a Twins outfield or third baseman, it's going to be Trevor Plouffe. I don't mind Torrey Hunter at 2.5K. And the reason is because Wei Chen has allowed 20 home runs to right-handed bats this year. Let's see here. Yeah, and it looks like they've had some pretty good success against Chen, so that could be a very interesting matchup. As far as Another third base option I like is going to be Danny Valencia. Just tapping off some other ones. Obviously, Nelson Cruz I like in GPPs. And where to go? I like Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop, obviously. Please don't play Shane Victorino. I know he's leading off. Mike Trout going against David Price. I don't mind that. Looks like they have matched up from time to time. Trout is actually 3 for 13, but Albert Pujols is 3 for 15 against him, where your punt option GPP BVP play of the night will be tonight is going to be Chris Iannetta. He's 7 for 18 against David Price with the dong. So that could be a very interesting way to go tonight as well. So I might pair the three of them up just because Trout and Pujols have the ability to go yard. I don't mind the Blue Jays bats going against Hector Santiago. Obviously, they're facing a lefty. They crush lefties, and they have had some success off of Santiago. Russell Martin's 2 for 3. Josh Donaldson actually hasn't. He's got the most experience against him, and he's 2 for 16, but Donaldson's having a great year. So that could be a way to go as well. All right, sneaky stacks. Obviously, the Pirates tonight. I don't think the Twins are going to be that sneaky. The Tigers might be a little bit sneaky just because they're priced up a little bit. The Reds might be a little bit sneaky because everybody's going to want to get exposure to Colorado. Where did I go? Obviously, Colorado is not going to be sneaky at all. Miami and Philadelphia. I know I said Philly last night, but I like both of them again. And then that's as far as sneaky is concerned. So there's not a lot of stacks that I like tonight. And when I don't like a lot of stacks, I usually try to mix it up and go like 2 from this team, 2 from that team, maybe 3, 3, and 2. But I try to get as much home run potential in GPPs as I possibly can because those are what's going to win you tournaments. So, all right, guys, last thing I want to cover real quick is, and I just had a mind fart. Oh, tools. There's a lot of different tools out there that you can use. Obviously, ours is just one of them. But as far as tools that I use in conjunction with what we offer and have available, the advanced metric sheet, the projection tool, I use TweetDeck. I get on there and I follow a lot of the DFS guys around the industry. I make sure that the reason I do that is because of I want to know who is on what and who they are talking about, because usually what ends up happening is they give me a forecast of who is going to be higher owned tonight. There are a couple other ones that you can go in there for. Just set up a TweetDeck, download it to your desktop or your laptop, and put in your Twitter handle. If you're not using Twitter, then I strongly recommend that you do start using it because it can help you out a lot. I use MLB.com and ESPN a lot as far as not really looking up splits or anything, but just looking up some histories. Obviously, I use Roto Grinders as well for all the to know when lineups are posted, so I know when to refresh our our spreadsheet. So there's a lot of different tools out there that we can use to take advantage of the information that's out there, and it only makes us better. Make sure that you are utilizing all the tools that are available to you, and make sure that it is something that you put to good use, because if you're not, I promise you others are, and they will start learning and doing, and you definitely want to be able to take advantage of those tools that are out there for you. So, all right, guys, I know I rambled on here just a little bit. It was kind of long today. I want to say thank you guys for actually watching, and don't forget to like the YouTube webpage. Pass it along to your friends. Comment. Always like and enjoy hearing your guys' feedback. Absolutely love it. Check out the NFL DFS 101. It's got some great information in there that I wish I had when I first started out in NFL, and hopefully, if it can help you kind of slowly build your bankroll and not have to redeposit, then that'll be really good. I had to redeposit after, I think it was 3 weeks, because I had a great first week and thought it was easy, and then ended up getting crushed. So don't want you guys to have to go through what I went through before I started getting the hang of it and actually building up my bankroll. So good luck to everybody tonight. Have fun. Make sure you are good in cash games and capitalize off of chaos in GPPs. Make sure that if you have any questions, you leave a comment on the Google Plus page, and we will be looking for that article sometime this blah, blah, blah. Be looking for the next article in the DFS 101 series tomorrow, and we will talk at you then. So for Spreadsheet Sports, I am BoomersDaddy. Have a great night.